KRAZY Race is back, y'all. KRAZY Race. That good old field shit. Hip hop. The rapture. I got my man Rocker in the building.
Dolly.
Just live and learn, y'all.
Worldwide, y'all. Let's go.
I'm a grown ass man, still learning to live. Live, laugh, and love, learning how to forgive. Been through every commotion that a man can feel. I've lied so many times, so let the truth reveal. Cause hurt, pain, and sorrow, so if I see tomorrow, I'm trying to do what's right, cause my time is borrowed. Trying to make my seed smile, see my mother laugh, make my father proud, stop living in the past. Life's a learning lesson, but it stops at the grave. No, I'm truly blessed, I learned from my mistakes. To say thoughts create things. I was a child, I dreamed of being the one that was rocking the crowd. Now I look back on life with a smile on my face. Through the blood, sweat, and tears, I've done found my place. Through the good and the bad, the right and the wrong, we just live and learn until the day that we're gone. Live and learn is the life we live. I'm a grown ass man, still learning to live. Live and learn is the life we live.
Hey yo, I lived enough to know I have a whole lot to learn.
Live and learn is the life we live. Through the good and the bad, the right and the wrong. Live and learn is the life we live.
Every day's a lesson. Hey yo, I lived enough to know I have a whole lot to learn still. Every day's a lesson. God-given gift is a present. Express my history in the present. Tense stressing, trying to relax. I twist up my medicine. Before the last sand hits the bottom of the hourglass. Each one teach one before the final hours pass. Hate grows, stock markets like the towers crash. Everything is cyclical, so how long will the power last? I've learned that my peoples come first. That's worst come to worst. That's birth to the hearse. I've lived through the funeral. Learned to sing Amazing Grace. Rap race at a crazy pace. Ask KRAZY Race about the street life. Politics, green light. Knowledge of the ancient language needed when they read kites. Now we learn to live right, eat right, read right. Rocker with the crown of thorns shining when they need light.
Live and learn is the life we live. I'm a grown ass man, still learning to live. Live and learn is the life we live.
Hey yo, I lived enough to know I have a whole lot to learn.
Live and learn is the life we live. Through the good and the bad, the right and the wrong. Live and learn is the life we live.
Every day's a lesson.
Live and learn is the life we live. Live and learn is the life we live. Yeah. Yo, Survive, bring it down just a little bit, man. Let's run into an instrumental that you like. And let's make this shit super official. Shout out to everybody who tuned in tonight, 3-year anniversary. You know, 6-year anniversary for me and MVP, can't recall.
Something like that.
The brother Ace in the spot, Final Level Radio, been doing it for a goddamn long time. You know what I'm saying? But it's our 3-year get down right here with B-Sides. We definitely want to thank them first. Here comes Rabbit running up. Look at him. Ah, huevo. DJ Survive killed that shit on my little break right now.
Yeah, he was
for real. He was murdering the ones and twos, doing his thing.
He's alright.
I told him he's becoming my favorite DJ. He goes, becoming? How come that's your favorite DJ? And I'm like, you gotta earn that, motherfucker. You gotta earn that.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
But speaking of DJs, producers, you know what I'm saying? Got my brother, family, man. Ringleader DJ Ace in the spot right here in the Casa Relevance. Make some noise one time.
Real
You
quick,
still with
man.
us, man.
That's right.
What's up, yeah?
Come on.
That's right, man.
What camera are we looking at?
No,
You got this
Is it
one.
that one or is it that one?
You got both.
Hey, man, we didn't even say hello.
That's
Hey,
Rabbit.
you could look at whatever one you want, and they'll change it.
I'm trying to
you.
look. Oh, okay. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we just don't have the one above. Where,
The one
Yeah.
we're,
The sky.
hey,
The
we're
sky. What's the
usually,
shit called?
And when we
Yeah, my
went
little-
back,
my little
about
sky
8 years
one.
now,
Yeah,
we
man.
did Final Level Radio, man, and
Yeah.
and we were actually straight up. You and I were one of the first to do the online radio hip hop show.
Yeah.
One of the first hip hop shows online, I
Yeah.
should say.
Along
before-
with Proof of Life.
Proof of
The
Life.
proof.
Proof of Life.
And then, well, of course, you know, Be Real had his thing going on with the stick cam and the 8 heads in there watching live.
Yeah, that was
Talk-
that was
that
that was
earlier.
after though.
That was OG.
That was still after us.
Yeah,
That was after us.
and then of course Rabbit came along.
Yeah.
Oh, we were
B-side.
a little after. Yeah,
Yeah, they were just a little bit after.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why
A little bit after.
It's dope, man. I love it.
Hey, and I remember though originally hearing from, we talked about it last time though,
Yeah.
but it was Rhyme Poetic Mafia, I believe, where I first, you know, heard about, and I didn't know this dude had already known
Yeah.
me from way back and all that stuff, but you know, that's I go back listening to a lot of hip hop and shit, and man, but
That was a long time ago.
yeah,
That was
but
my shit though.
I'm
Now that you
saying
think
though,
about
but
it.
you've been doing your thing for a long time,
Man, 32 years.
bro. Wow.
30, hey,
32.
Doing it
32
for years,
32 man.
32 years I've been
Making
doing
music, brother. Making
Hey,
music.
put the
I s-
calculator away, motherfuckers.
I started, you know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, shh. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I first started with South Central Cartel. That was my
Yup.
first. That was my first group. That was my first big record.
That you did production for.
I did production for, yeah, and I also DJ'd on it, scratched on it and stuff. Toured with them, and then we were doing Rhyme Poetic Mafia. So at the time, we did South Central Cartel came out. You know, we put out
Root of All Evil.
No, that was Rhyme Poetic Mafia.
My
No,
bad.
when we put out South Central Cartel, we put out
Gangsta
You Gets
Love.
Clown. No,
There
You
you
Gets
go.
Clown was the first one.
Right.
With Prodigy rapping on it. Because I met Prodigy through Hen G, which goes through my whole career. It's crazy, man. It's like a big
Hen
thing.
G was here not that long
Yeah, I
ago,
know.
brother.
Yeah, he
that's
hit
right.
me up. He was like, "Yo, isn't that around your neighborhood?" I'm like, "Nah, a little bit to the left."
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
I'm a little bit to the left, but yeah. But that was my first real, you know, thing was the South Central Cartel, and then we were doing Rhyme Poetic Mafia, and we did a song with South Central Cartel called South Central Madness.
I'm
Yeah.
the one Mexican
Yeah.
roaming South
Yes,
Central.
yeah. So that was the
Who's
line.
those
that was-
lyrics right there?
That was the line, you know, that people stuck with. So they would take us on tour, and they used to trip out because they go like, "God damn!" Every time we'd bring you guys out, it would get even crazier, and
Right,
people
right,
would
right.
people would only sing my partner Power Lord's lyrics. I'm the one Mexican that rolls South Central. So everybody, you know, they got to know us, and the manager from South Central Cartel heard our solo stuff, you know, and then we had another guy come around, and next thing you know, man, we got signed to Giant Warner Brothers. You know, we were one of the first Latino rap groups to sign to Warner Brothers.
What year was that, Ace?
That was 1992.
Wow.
92.
Come on now.
There it is.
92, yeah. So we got signed to Warner Brothers. I mean, the whole, you know, pictures getting signed and putting on the
The
bunny
big box.
rabbit,
That's
the
the
bunny
big box.
rabbit fucking jacket.
Yeah.
that they gave you and stuff, and it was, you know, it was a big deal, man. It was
Different
a trip.
era.
It was
Different
a-
era.
but there
right?
was
it was a different era, man. It was a different era. Like I always tell people, I said they're so lucky the way hip hop is right now. When we got our deal with Warner Brothers, we were about to shoot our video, and the first thing they were like, "Okay, here's the thing. Fucking budget was $175,000."
You heard that?
I'm
That's
like,
unheard of.
I'm like,
Yeah.
good Lord. And then I was reading the treatment, and I'm like, 175,000, because people don't know that 175,000
Recouped.
is actually coming out of my pocket.
Right.
Partner's pocket.
Right,
So I was
right.
like, wait,
Keep it
hold
real.
up. You know, and then I was like, damn, I really, because the name of the song was called Coming Through Your Neighborhood. So we wanted to shoot it at night. They were like, okay, yeah, we thought that. So yeah, here's this one. This 250,000. I'm like, to shoot at night? I'm like, God damn, let's just find a little block or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what? Don't work that way. You got to do this. You got to do that. I'm like, fuck, 250,000. So we went with the daytime shot. You know, we were
That's
like,
it.
I went with 175.
You were already thinking ahead of the game
I
as
was
a
already thinking that
businessman,
shit.
like,
I was
yeah.
like, I'm doing the math. I'm like, yo, fuck. I had this house payment. I'm like, I have fucking 175,000. You know what I mean? Because like they charge you for everything. That was one thing. It was like, because once we got into that, I started hanging out with the OG Ice-T, and he really took us under his wing, and he showed us, like, he was like, yo, get your money, put your money away. Second of all, don't take no limos, don't take none of that.
Yeah.
All that shit comes to your budget.
Flamboyant
Everything.
shit.
Yeah, or don't let them buy your clothes, because that comes out of your budget too. You know, I was like, shit, I'll go swap meet. I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
I'll go get that shit.
Well, that's what's crazy is
Yeah.
those deals you had to recoup everything. Like,
yeah, we had to
if-
recoup everything. I mean, I'm not ashamed to tell people, man. Our first record deal was 375,000. So you got that 375,000. We're in the hole. Once we signed,
Right.
Everybody's celebrating.
Got that money, but
Everybody's
in the hole.
celebrating, and I'm like, yo, I gotta go in the studio and record all this shit. fucking, I'm getting everything else. And back then, studios again, $1,500 a day.
Right.
That's right. Block that shit.
You had to block it. You had to buy reels. Reels were $300 for 3 fucking songs. You know what I mean? It was just
that was before people could record shit
on your computer.
Before computer.
But until the ADAT phase hit, we're like, all right, it's a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Now
it was cool. I always tell rappers, I said, man, you be blessed, because technology is great, man. Be blessed. Because back in the days, you had to spit your verses 3 times and make sure they all sounded identical.
Yeah. Because we were splicing tape.
Yeah, we were splicing tape. The South Central Madness record that had 8 rappers or 9 rappers, I believe, that shit took me 48 hours to splice that fucking record.
Damn.
Because there was so many, because it was just, there was no automation. It was like, it was
real
just,
to real. Yeah.
And that was
tape.
a posse cut.
yeah.
That wasn't even we didn't even think it was gonna, it wasn't a single, but it was actually one of the second biggest record on the South Central Cartel album. And through that they got signed to Def Jam, and then it went crazy, man. It was a trip. You learned a lot. You learned to be humble. You learned to be, the game is rough, dude. It's rough.
Oh yeah.
Ace, man, I'll get to it real quick. When you're talented, man, and you got
Thank you, man.
talent, brother.
Thank you, man. I try, man. I try to do I'm low key, man. Like I said, a lot of people, they don't know that I produced Ice-T.
Yeah, you slept on, homie. You slept on.
I like it though. Ice used to say, he said, "Fuck what everybody says, as long as the checks come to your house."
Yeah, and that's
and
real.
I took that shit to heart. I was like, "Fuck yeah, hell yeah." Oh shit! I got another check. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Hey,
residual income.
All right, go to
what's up with the new Madden, motherfucker?
Yeah. Remember that? I used to get all the Maddens. Hey, did you get it yet? Hell yes, at the house. Yeah. Or you go to a movie and I'd have music in a movie, man. I'd be like, oh, cool, that's cool. Fine.
Dog, the best.
They don't need to know.
The best was at Ice-T's crib, and we're in the spot, and he's fucking about to he's playing his. You know what I'm saying? The game on the TV and shit, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I walk in, I'm like, what's he playing? And it was Max Payne, the very first one. He was doing that bullet time shit. So anybody who's played Max Payne, the fucking fool that starts going in slow motion.
That was OG, man.
And I'm watching it on TV, and it's Ice-T's like, this is Max Payne. I went and got that game, played the whole motherfucking thing, real talk.
We were gamers, man. We still are. We're gamers. He's a gamer. I'm a gamer. So we still play. We're like kids, man. It was dope because he took us under his wing. Like I said, I came right after DJ Aladdin, right after OG. I came on and, like I said, I met him through Henji, Evil E, the whole Ramson family. And, real quick, the first time he heard my production, Ice had a show in San Diego. And I gave Henji a cassette. You guys don't know what that is, and that's music that's on a cassette. Yeah, right. I'm dating myself like a motherfucker.
In case anybody doesn't know what a cassette is.
No, but, so he was playing it in the car, and they gave me a call just out of the blue. And, I started talking to me. He was like, yo, he's like, hey, what you doing? I said, nothing. I'm in my garage making music. He's like, yo, we're going to come and swoop you. He's like, I got a show in San Diego. So he came pick me up, and next thing you know, I'm in the car in a Rolls Royce with him. And he's listening to this shit. He's like, I already wrote 3 fucking songs to your tracks, He's like, how much? How much you want for him? I'm like, man, shit, rap on him. You know what I mean? So, and he's like, yeah, we'll go in the studio next week. You hear a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, you do.
You're like, okay, really, 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 And so I'm on the side of the stage watching the shit. That Monday he was like, hey, you got a studio where you work at? I'm like, yeah, where we do South Central Cartel. He came in. Walked in, and it's a true story, man. He walked in and came in, and I was already dumping the music down, and he came and threw me a bag, like plastic, a brown paper bag. I'm like, what the fuck, the motherfucker just threw some paper bag at me?
Yeah.
So I opened it up, man. It was like 20 grand, and he was like, let's get to work. I was like,
OG.
I looked at him. I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
Hey,
I tell you what, the music got a lot louder after that.
I was gonna tell you, it took you probably about 4 seconds, and you pumped the volume up.
The part of the story you're not saying is you were already there for 8-hour session.
Yeah, I was.
Now you're like,
there.
fuck. All right, here we go again.
Yeah, here we go again. Yeah.
You woke right up.
Yeah,
that'll wake you right up.
He said, now it's worth it.
Yeah, now it's worth it. Yeah. Now I was like, okay, so
hey,
we
shout out to the ringleader, man.
Yeah, so we did a G style. We did the record G style, and he was like, yo, he's like, He's like, I need drums, I need this. So I just started fucking with it, just and then he's right next to me. I'm just tripping out. This is Ice-T. He's fucking he's writing. He's like, you ready? Ready? You ready? I'm like, yo, I gotta dump it. Hold on. He's like, I'm done. I was like, he wrote the song like in like 10 minutes. I'm like, good Lord.
Gangster.
So and then we went and did it. After he wrote it, he said, watch, MTV Raps guaranteed next week. This, that. We're shooting it in LA on Saturday. I'm flying out to New York on Monday. I'm shooting it in New York. This and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? Really? What
Just
the
like
fuck?
that.
Yeah.
Let's work. Let's go.
Less than 2 weeks, MTV, he called me and he was like, yo, turn on Yo MTV Raps. He's all today. I was like, what? He's all, turn it on. So I turn it on, man, and the fucking song's on there. I'm like, holy shit, this motherfucker. And then
MTV
Public
Rap.
Enemy's in the video.
That's not a blessing, man.
Yeah, Public
Shit.
Enemy's in the video. I was fucking, I was fucking just, Latin kid from fucking Linwood, man. You know what I mean? Where I grew up in. It's to see that, it was cool, I was real humble, stuff like that. But like I said, we always had work to do. We were like, fuck that, Ron Poetic Mafia. One thing we never did is we never went left, and, I'll wrap it up real quick. Giant Warner Brothers, when we were about to put out our record, Cop Killer came out. And our management never told us anything. Ice called me and he was like, hey, he's like, y'all get a letter from Warner Brothers? I'm like, nah. And he's like, where you guys at? I said, oh, man, we were in Frisco on tour, actually touring with Color Me Bad because they were on our label, and
Color Me Bad.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. they were, hey, man, they were the kings back then.
Hey, yeah.
Yep.
Made a lot of money.
New Jack City.
Yeah, New Jack City. When that song
yeah.
came on, that's when we got signed.
Yeah.
And then Giant just signed Above the Law. So the camp was getting thick, you know what I mean? And
Cop Killer.
So he called me and he's like, you know what? He's like, we're going to come out there. I'm going to come check you guys out. I'm like, cool, you want to get on the show? He's like, hell yeah. I said, cool, I got some instrumentals. And so he came down. Long story short, man, he's just like, yo, he's like, I don't know if you saw this letter. He's take a look. He's I'm number 1 on it. He's y'all number 10. I'm like, number 10? What the fuck's he talking about? As I looked at the paper, man, it's just a long list of the records Warner Brothers are not putting out because of parental advisory on the record. You know what I mean? I was
Heavy
like,
shit.
holy shit. He goes, your management hasn't told you that? I'm like, no. So those little motherfuckers are in the next room. So we hit them up and they're like, oh no, they were lying and denying, the typical shit. So, yeah. Oh, my language? Can't do language? Oh, my bad. And so they, we hit them up. They was just like, yo, yeah, it's kind of true, this, that, but we're working out a deal. So we met with the label, and label, said, we really like you guys. We think you guys have something special. There's not a lot of Latin kids doing what you guys are doing. He's all, we'll let you guys keep that money. We'll give you guys $375,000 again if you do an album that's kind of like Lighter Shade of Brown. And no disrespect to Lighter Shade of Brown.
Yeah.
Those are my boys, rest in peace.
But you were Ryan Poetic Mafia.
It was Ryan Poetic Mafia. I mean, we were like, yo, we can't do that shit, by no means.
Not who you were.
Yeah, it's not who we were. We were thinking about the money. We were like, yo, another money that we don't have to give back, from the first album. We can take this one. Me and my partner, we had a barbecue, got drunk, got high, and we made a decision to, we both wrote on. I told him, because he had a family, you know what I mean? So I was like, yo, I'm down, whatever you want to do. Let's do it. You got to write it. I got to make happy music and shit. Fuck it. Let's see what we can come up
radio
with.
wants.
Yeah, radio. They wanted radio music. They just wanted radio music. They didn't want no. And
No
we
Dark
never.
Kingdom.
Yeah, we never did a lot of cussing. But if you heard our records were really
Dark.
aggressive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
dark
Like he would
records.
come and he'd be cussing. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Take that out. Oh yeah, that F word. Yeah, that's dope. Take that out. You know what I mean? Because I always learned. Never give a radio DJ an excuse not to play your records.
That's a good way.
You know what
That's
I'm
a good
saying?
point.
That's where you want to go.
Yes. You know
I
what I mean?
cuss a lot.
Where you wanna
So
be.
never give them a reason to say, oh, I can't play that because it's not censored right and this and that. So, that was what we always did. And my boy, he had his tone that had an aggressive tone to it. So because I love rappers with deep tones and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like when rappers have super high pitched voices, you know what I mean? I just shy away from it. I'm like, because I deal with all these other rappers, Sendog and Ice-T, King T, South Central Cartel, they all had that, that deep voice and all that shit.
And real quick, just to go throw that off real quick. That's why you got with this motherfucker.
Yeah, I always like Marky's voice, man.
And
that's I work well. I work well with them because I think it works well with my music. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like that's just kind of like my thing. And like I said, everybody. But back to the thing. We both handed each other a piece of paper because we said write down whatever you want to do, and straight up, both of our papers said fuck them. So I went in.
Integrity goes a long way. Yeah.
I went in there on Monday to Cassandra Mills. I went in there to Cassandra Mills. She's the one that signed us. And I said, you know what? We want to thank you for everything you did for us. But you know what? We can't do it. We can't take it. We can't jeopardize our music. It's our decision, this and that. And, she tried to keep it. She tried to offer us a little more. And I was like, we're going to kill each other in there. This fool can't write radio music. I said, it's going to take me a minute to fucking, do some fucking radio music.
Ask a right-handed pitcher to throw lefty.
Yeah, exactly.
No
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was the best decision. A week later, we went on tour with Ice-T. My 21st birthday, I got serenaded by Lollapalooza. So, you know what I mean? He brought me out when he was doing Ice-T, he was doing Body Count. And,
90s shit.
Yeah.
Hey, the real history in the hip, and not just hip hop, but music in general, man. Hey, before I know you might wreck some shit right now. I think we might hear something. But I was gonna ask you. You also got some other stuff that you do. You spin other places. You do some real live shows at places. Man. Hey, let
some
the
final
people,
level radios and shit.
Yeah.
Let the people know, man.
Yeah. So right now, and this is crazy. This is a true story. For the last 5 years, we've been on this tour. I've been on this tour with freestyle artist Trinier, and and I've been I'm her DJ, and I've been touring with her for 5 years. And like this year alone, we have 40 shows, lined up. And these are arenas. This is a trip. This
Some
whole
real shit.
This whole freestyle thing it's amazing. It's amazing. It's like we play our shows that we got coming up in LA. We got Honda Center. We're doing the fourth time we're gonna do the Greek Theater. April 28th we're gonna be in Las Vegas. We already sold that show out. So we play in these amazing big venues, and like I said, all these guys, these are the records I used to play when I was DJing backyard parties and Whittier, Pico, and all this, Norwalk and stuff. So it's like, we're touring with Stevie B, Expose, JJ Fad, and what's dope is
Lisa,
Co-Jam.
Co-Jam with full force.
Debbie Deb, Taylor Dane, Sweet Sensation. What's up, Betty?
Just that 90s shit, okay?
And so it's dope, man. Every show is sold out because we always say it's like that music will never die because of the crap that's on the radio right now. And when I first got in there, Arabian Prince, OG NWA member, he DJs for JJ Fad, so that's my guy right there. That's one of my good friends, and he told me, he said, Ace, jump on this shit. He's like, I've been doing it for 10 years. This shit is not gonna die. And sure enough, man, we've been touring like today. I got 3 more dates in a city by San Francisco and Chino. I don't even know. I never heard of the damn city.
Right.
Yeah, and they're having like a big freestyle festival next month. I'm like, cool, okay.
5,000.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? 9,000?
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like usually the capacity or 15. I mean, because it's Honda Center. It's fucking the Greek Theater. We're selling out. You know what I mean? So we've been doing the Long Beach Freestyle Festival.
Oh, yeah. They have a big old one over there.
Yeah, the big one. So we've been doing it for 5 years. Unfortunately, we're not going to be on the show this year on May 5th because myself and Trinier, we have another show back in New York. So we're going to be...
You got the fight to watch.
Huh? No, we're going to...
Let's see if it happens.
No.
If it happens, we don't know.
If it happens, is it?
Canelo Triple G, who do you got? What do you got?
Too much Mexican
Where
meat.
we at? Canelo Triple G. What do you got?
Right.
Hey,
Órale, watch it.
Hey, you'd have to say Canelo, but Triple G, you know what I mean? He's just
it's
he's
gonna
a beast, man.
Man, well, I'll
It's
say
gonna be
this.
a good fight.
I'll
I'm gonna
say
watch
this. Triple G won the first one on some bullshit, so
Right.
Yeah.
that was not a draw.
Right.
But you
Yeah.
already know, eh?
Yeah.
We'll go into some MVP sports talk.
Right.
Hey, but I want to ask you this, brother. just taking it back throughout, you know what I'm saying, your musical career, session-wise, which was one of the dopest sessions that you got to work and record that you were like, yo, that fucking session was...
With you, Crazy Race, it was...
Come on.
Yeah. I think, well, there's two comes to mind. I mean, because everybody has their
What's the one, dog? I know you got
the one is probably gonna be Tupac.
Oh.
Yeah, Tupac at the crack house.
Wait,
popped,
who's that?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Tupac.
Yeah,
man.
he popped up because our studio was called the Crack House, so everybody used to always come down there. It was in the Hollywood Hills, and he was shooting the movie with Janet Jackson at the time.
Poetic Justice.
Yeah, there you go. And he just showed up. He just showed up, and he started talking. Ice was playing him the records that we were doing, and he was like, "Yo, who did the tracks?" He's like, "Him." He's all, "Him?" I'm like, he's like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Okay," and he's like, "I know you from somewhere," and I was like, "From South Central Cartel," because he did a record with us on the Murder Squad album, and he was like, "Oh shit!" So me being the smart person that I am, I immediately gave him a fucking cassette of beats.
That's right.
And yeah,
beat tape.
a beat tape. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay. And I gave it to him, and he was like, yo, I'm going to listen to him. We exchanged pager numbers and shit,
Hey, what's a pager?
Yeah.
Hey, see, we're giving him education
Millennials.
today.
This is Millennial 101.
Yeah. Pager's a thing that would just ring. Is this numbers? And if a girl liked you, she'd put like the numbers backwards and you turn it upside down.
And say, let's go to bed.
Yeah.
And it would say, it would say hello. It would say hello. But Henji actually hooked that up, man. He was the one that got all that thing. Well, we ended up recording one day at a time up at the studio. I engineered it for him because he was like, yo, do me a favor. Can you do this? I was like, fuck, it's Tupac. Hell yeah. So I engineered it and stuff like that. And he was like, yo, man, I like 4 of those beats. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, cool, I gave you 5. I'm like, that ain't bad. Hope it was in the one I didn't already sell, So, he got it and he was doing movies and stuff like that, and I saw him every now and then, like at the House Blues. He's like, yo, I still got those tracks. He's the first one that introduced me to Suge. Suge was all redded up and stuff, man. That's another story. But, yeah, it was cool. Unfortunately, it never happened. Because of the, untimely death of them and stuff, but we did have the masters and, business-wise, that was the song that Eminem actually remade for the
KRAZY.
So we had the vocals, so we like in any business, we sold the vocals back to the mom. They had a label, so they wanted to buy them. So, we came up on that, and that was cool, because I could say, fuck that, anything, they don't even got to. The real people know I recorded him rapping on that song,
right?
Because they couldn't do the vocals over.
Hey, more importantly, he wanted to rock. He wanted to fuck with your beats.
You know what I mean. So that's what I always thought was cool about him. He was very cool cat. When him and Ice did, Roseanne had a show called Saturday Night, and they were both on there, and they were like both gangster rappers, and they were singing that song. You don't bring me flowers or some shit. It was like a comedy shit. Yeah, comedy skit, and that fool was straight up. We were inside the dressing room, and that fool he really, really believed that the people in question, the rappers, really had something to do with it. That motherfucker was yelling at the top of his motherfucking lung because him and Ice were kind of arguing, but Ice was just telling him, yo, leave that street shit aside. This is Hollywood. There's money right here. And he was like, fuck that. Those motherfuckers shot me and blah, blah, blah. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. And he's yelling at the top of his lungs.
Real shit.
And he's just, you see spit just flying through. He's talking and he has a joint in his hand. He's, there you go, Ace. Like all calm, and then he goes back yelling again. I'm like, what the fuck? And me and Henji was in the room too, and we were looking, and his boys, you could see his boys were packed. We're like, damn, this shit jump off right here. We're not packed right now. It's in the car.
It's a different game at that time.
I'm looking. I'm like, okay, I'm making a game plan. I'm looking at, him and Ice are just going at it. Yeah, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Here we go. But it ended up all cool and stuff like that.
Hip hop history, man.
It was
OG Ice-T too.
It was a trip, man. But catch us on like I said, catch me on the freestyle tours, man. I'm on there. One thing that I'm proud of about the freestyle tours, really, I'm one of the DJs that are holding it down for DJs because when I go up on there in the Crazy Race, I've taken them to a couple shows. Once Trinier's done singing, it's on. It's my show. I'm scratching the shit out of it.
Well, let's get that shit cracking right
scratching
here,
the
man.
shit out
Let's
of
do
her.
that shit for Relevance
Let's
Radio.
do it.
Let's do it.
Hey,
Let's do it.
Crazy Race told me about this, though. He
three,
goes,
yo,
I went
Drakk.
to the show, and this fool just tears it up.
Yo, Drakk,
Yeah.
let's
Once
run a
she-
video. We'll be back with Ace
Once
of the
she
ones and
stops
twos.
singing, it's mine.
Yeah, right.
Once she stops singing, it's mine. Oh, she's dope.